3, 2, 1, live.
We'll just wait for some people coming on.
Yeah, no problem. She's going to be naughty, aren't you, Polly?
I've got 2. I've got Scappy there, and I've got the pup in the living room. But he sometimes hears the voice. When he hears the door go, he's woof, woof, woof at the door. There's 7 on. 7 on. Come on, guys. We need more than 7 on. So building up now.
Shall I just introduce myself?
Yeah, if you want to introduce yourself, yeah.
I'm Chrissy from UK CBD Oils. We have a shop at 40 Borough Road in Middlesbrough, and we'll have online presence, uk-cbdoils.com. This isn't my dog, minding it.
Yeah. So CBD, Chrissy, is a lot of controversy with it, because people say, is it a drug? If you take it, can you get banned when you're driving, or can you go on the rigs and get caught taking it? And can you explain what it is, please, to people?
The CBD comes from the hemp plant, but it's grown with low THC. So it's grown below 0.2%. And then when you've got your products, it's below 1 milligram per container of THC. So it's very low. So it shouldn't fail drug tests. And you wouldn't get any high feelings. Even if you drank a full bottle, you shouldn't fail a drug test. The only thing we advise is if you're like a taxi driver or something and you're taking it out and about with you while you're on your driving job, if you take it under the tongue and then it was swabbed within so long afterwards, like half an hour, it could be a false positive. So we advise them to carry it with them.
An hour before you go in your car.
Yeah.
So the THC, that is the drug, isn't it? Where you get nicked where people smoke cannabis, which is raw cannabis. That's the THC. But I read up, I was in hospital and I had it off. I got it off use because I was bad with the arthritis in the back and the nuts and bolts and all that. So I was taking it and I was hiding it from the nurse. Anyway, one nurse said, "What are you doing there?" I said, I use that. She said, I said, "Oh, is it legal?" She said, "Oh, yeah, it's in all the hospitals. It's in all the health shops. It's legal now." So I was thinking, get me drugs here. I used to take a couple of drops. It was really good for my arthritis in my hands when it was raining. When it's a really bad day, when it's cold, my hands get really bad arthritis in my knees. So I take 2 little drops, I leave it for about 90 seconds, and like you taught me. And the difference is unbelievable.
Well, you hold it under the tongue for the 90 seconds so it helps get into your system faster, because if you swallow it, it has to go through your digestive system, so it takes longer then.
You lose a lot of the potency because it's gone through your body as well that way, maybe.
Yeah, you lose quite a lot. We've just brought out a new water-soluble range for that reason. So with the water-soluble, it's a full spectrum, and you add it into your drinks. You can still take it under the tongue, but you can add it into your drink and it hasn't got the nasty taste. But because of the water solubility, it's a new technology and it helps absorption. So you absorb about 70-80% more of the CBD than any other product. So that's a new range that we've just brought out.
So I'm presuming that with that, I'm presuming that with it being stronger, you probably need a couple of drops because it's 70%.
Yeah, well, we're only doing it at a 500 milligram bottle at the moment to see how it goes, and then we could possibly look at offering higher strengths. But the 500 milligram bottle will be stronger than like the 1,000 milligram Saver full spectrum, just because you're going to absorb much more of it.
Right.
But it's easy for people who don't like the taste of it, or if someone wants to have it in the coffees and stuff. And we're getting approached by a lot of coffee shops because they want to start adding like it into their coffees, like give it as like a extra when you're going in, like if you want a CBD boost in your coffee.
It's very good for people with depression as well, isn't it? And people with anxiety and phobias like OCD and things like that. Can you explain?
I'd say about 70% of our customers are using it for anxiety. I've used it myself, especially after all the lockdowns. I was very anxious starting back in work after all them months off. Like I was waking up feeling sickly on a morning and no appetite. And I've found for my body, I need about 30 to 40 milligram of CBD per day. And about 3 or 4 days, my anxiety is much better. But again, everyone's body is different. So we advise starting on low doses and building it up. My preference is gummies or capsules, but I am going to change to the new water soluble because it'll be more cost effective for myself as well as most other people.
Yeah. It's good for pain, isn't it, with people with pain, chronic pain as well?
Yeah, it works on our body's receptors on the cytokines, which modulate our pain. So basically, the CBD is working with our body. That's what even with anxiety, it works with your serotonin and things like that. It's more of a natural way of like taking stuff to help, like pain, sleep, anxiety. We sell as a food supplement, but we have a lot of like reviews on our website where people are sharing their experiences, because we have to be careful what we're saying. But that's what people tend to use it for. Like yourself, you've used it for like pain. But we can't like promote like on social media, like you can use it for back pain or you can use it for anxiety.
Is there anything, what else is it good for?
What's it? I think it's good for your general health and well-being as well, because I don't want to get too scientific, but we have a system in our body called the endocannabinoid receptor system. This was only found in 1993, and we have CB1 and CB2 receptors. They're all the way throughout our body, in our brain as well, and the cannabinoids like work with that. We produce our own cannabinoids, and they're called endogenous cannabinoids. The CBD that you're taking from us is called phytocannabinoids from the plant. So basically, our body produces our own. So what the CBD does is it works with your body to help regulate your body more and help produce. So some people might take CBD for an ailment, like say for anxiety or for pain, and they might get results instantly, but that means they're probably more deficient.
Right.
Where other people might not be as deficient, so it takes time to get into the system.
Right.
But that system has only been around, like we've only known about it since 1993, and they're still not learning much about it in medical school and stuff. So it's early stages really, but it controls your whole body. So they believe a lot of illnesses could be linked to that system. So by supplementing it, it might be a preventative.
Is it safe, for instance, to be a long distance lorry driver? Is it safe to take them? Does it keep you don't fall asleep on or anything? Because people, when you see them on smoking cannabis, like obviously I've seen people on them fall asleep, obviously because that's the THC. This hasn't got as much nowhere near as much THC. So
No.
you just drive nice and normal, and you're okay for.
It wouldn't affect. Yeah, it wouldn't affect your driving. I mean, I've got someone who comes and gets it from the shop, and he's a lorry driver. He packs his lorry outside the shop and nips in, and it's helping him like keep more relaxed, and it wouldn't affect his driving. It wouldn't make you tired. The only thing I've found is sometimes when people have first started taking it and they're taking it for sleep, sometimes they're taking too much and they're oversleeping, and then they're feeling a bit tired the next day, so they need to reduce the dose. So we've had a few people say that, but then they reduce the dose and they feel okay. And where's it grown? It's Poland. Ours comes from.
And yours is all tested, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all lab tested. I've done some qualifications. So I did a qualification in lockdown. It's with a training academy in America. I was going to be going out to do it with my dad. We were going to go to America to do this exam, but I ended up doing it online. So I become a certified CBD coach, and I've just done a course in CBD and mental health. And I'm currently doing a course with CBD in animals to be learning more about how it reacts with the animals and in their body.
So you can give it to dogs and things like that.
Yes. Well, we always advise to speak to your vet.
Yeah.
But we have had a few people recently where the vets have advised to be taking it.
Right.
We normally advise a non THC product for pets as well. Right. But we have had some vets say to take the ones with a full spectrum. We had someone recently for Cushing's disease for their dog. Right. We've had people using it for dogs with separation anxiety.
Yeah.
And it's very popular around firework night because it can help relax your dogs.
My dog's petrified of fireworks. I understand that. But when you take it, or the dog takes it, or whoever takes it, you don't get addicted to it, do you? Like you do.
No. We have had people coming in to try and come off certain drugs, weed, cocaine. We've had people coming in to take CBD to help because it can help with like when they're struggling to sleep on a night. Like weed, like although it's not like bad for us as in our health as it can, like a cigarette can cause cancers, weed doesn't. But the only thing with weed now is it's the THC is so high, and people who are over smoking it are risking of like mental health issues. And that's what's going on now. So people are trying to like opt more towards CBD. But if you take a CBD alongside the THC, it can counteract the high side effects as well. So it wouldn't be as strong.
Right. But you can't get high off it, can you? Off the
No,
one.
100% not. No.
It's impossible.
Everything we sell is all above board. So it's like CBD gummies, capsules, vapes. We keep getting people asking us for the CBD flowers, which is where you can smoke it, but that's a very grey area. You're not supposed to sell it, because it looks like weed, but it isn't. It hasn't got the THC.
I can imagine that puts people off seeing that because it looks so much like it, and it looks like probably.
That's why you're not meant to sell it, really, because the
difference.
Yeah.
Imagine somebody on a bus making one up and thinking, and everyone will think it's a joint, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So what type of dogs with anxiety and stuff that works for dogs? All dogs with arthritis and things, would it work on things like that?
It can do, yeah. I mean, my dad, his dog was on it for 4 years. I know it's my dad, so it's like more personal for me, but we have had other people's dogs using for that sort of thing. Kayak he was a husky and he lived to just before his 16th birthday. But for the last 4 years of his life, he was on CBD. He was started on full spectrum, and then it was moved to an isolate range, so he was able to take a higher dose.
Right.
But we have people using it for the cats as well.
Yeah.
But again, we advise to go and speak to your vets before pursuing it, especially if they're on any medication. When we first launched the brand, we were offered to go into garages around the UK, and obviously that would be a good thing, as in you'd get more sales. But if you're in a car garage or like a petrol station garage and you're not getting any advice, you won't know if the CBD is going to interact with your medications and things like that, because CBD can interact with some people's medications. So we can advise there as well. And if we're unsure, we always say go and speak to your doctor.
Yeah. And what else is it good for? Can you elaborate any more things it's good for?
We've got people using it for so many reasons. We've got people using it for even just general aches and pains, back pain, sciatica. We do I've got some products here. So we've got like a heat cream. So that's 300 milligram of CBD per tub, and this is ideal for people who have got like muscle pain, or we've got people using it for the knees when they're waiting knee replacements or hip replacements. Just rub a small amount onto the areas, and then we do capsules.
What price is that, Chrissy?
What, sorry?
Price is that the tub, the cream one?
We've recently reduced our pricing, so this was $29.99. It's now $25.
Right.
We brought the pricing down recently.
How long will that last? Average person, that tub, for somebody with, like, say, bad knees or bad.
I think most people, it's averaging them about a month, maybe a bit more. It depends if it's just one knee, both knees. We've had people where they've got arthritis, but if it's all over the body, then we advise going with more of an oil drop so it can treat inside. Because if you're trying to use the cream all over, it wouldn't last as long. But the cream's ideal if it's just specific areas. We do a full range. We've got capsules for people who don't like the taste.
Right.
But we've got vegan ones and soft gel capsules.
Oh, so you got vegan as well. That's good.
Yeah. And the gummies, like one lot of gummies, which are these ones, they're vegan.
Yeah.
But we do obviously we do the full spectrum products. Then we've got ones that have got no THC for anyone that doesn't want the THC in it.
So it's good for you if you've been at work all day and you've got knots and pains and you're just a normal person who doesn't get arthritis or anything. But now and then you have knots in your neck, and you just take a bit of that, takes that type of pain away as well.
Yeah, again with CBD, we can't tell people how much they need to take.
Yeah.
What's going to help them. It's they need to work out.
What would you advise? Maybe start off with 2 drops, and then add maybe 3 the next day to see if it builds to the level.
So if you were to start on our 500 milligram full spectrum, we normally say start on 6 drops a day.
Right.
If we were to start on our 10%, 1,000 milligram, we say start on 3 drops a day.
Right.
But I would say give it 4 or 5 days to get into your system, and then slowly increase to find out what works for you.
Is it better to take it when you're in pain, or is it better to take it at the same time every day?
Everyone's different, so it doesn't work like a paracetamol where it's going to work within so many hours. I normally set mine at certain times, so I'd have it morning, afternoon, and about an hour before bed. Someone's saying that it's a low dose of CBD. We have here a 2,500 milligram. We do up to 2,000 milligram, but that's isolate range with no THC. But we do 1,500 milligram of full spectrum in a 10 ml bottle. You can't get any higher than 1,500 milligram full spectrum because of the THC.
What full spectrum means? Because I don't even know what it means.
It means it's the whole plant. So it
Right.
contains all the cannabinoids from the plant, the THC included, but very low amounts. But we can't get any higher strength than that because of the THC levels. You can get larger bottles, so you could get, say, 4,500 milligram, but then it would be in a 30 ml bottle. Not a 10 ml, so it's equivalent then, but you need to take more. We get people asking why don't we do larger bottles, because we don't do larger bottles because it just makes you just need to take more for the same effect. So smaller bottle, more concentrated, you take less drops.
Yeah.
Full spectrum is better. I'd rather buy Avon. Hopefully everyone as well. Don't know, do they sell it in Avon?
Yeah, but you might buy Avon, it might make your skin better, but you'll be absolutely knackered when you can't get up in the morning.
I didn't know what to sell in Avon. I've never looked.
Yeah. Bad people put things on. So, how long has it been going on the market then in the UK legally?
Oh, I think it's been about 6-7 years. We've only been around since 2018. We were the first shop in Middlesbrough to be specialised in the CBD. There has been others, but they did shut down, and there's some recent ones opening up.
Right.
But we're fully specialised in CBD.
So you're the biggest shop in probably Teesside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got places like Boots and Holland and Barrett's, but they tend to stock many different brands. It can get quite confusing to people.
Someone said to me, one of the doctors around it, he said, don't get it from there because it's not as good. Go to a really top health shop or a CBD, your shop type of thing. Go somewhere like that because they know what they're on about. The people just in a health shop don't really know much about it.
Yeah, I mean, because they can't advise. We have to be careful what we say, but we offer more advice than them sort of places.
So, what type of training courses would you do then to be an expert on it? Would you have to go to college to do it, or would you just do it online? Or
I've done online courses, so I've got a Bachelor of Science degree in Food and Nutrition,
right.
And then all the courses with CBD I've done online. I don't think there's anything at the moment university or college wise that I can do. But there's quite a few courses that you can find online that are all accredited. The one I did recently was a level 3 in mental health and CBD. We do want to start helping out in mental health more as well.
Yeah. A lot of people suffer mental health, don't, because the chemicals are all wrong in the brain. So suppose you have the CBD, when you're taking it, probably it levels your brain out, and the chemicals in your brain, because you're more calms the brain.
Yeah, it increases your serotonin, so it helps your moods and stuff.
That's the main thing. You don't produce as much serotonin or beta or gamma, and with that, it helps to produce more serotonin, so it levels the brain out. So it's better than for me, it's better than taking medication off the doctor. Even if the doctor does tell you to take it, don't get me wrong, you have to take it. But some people have got off the medication by going on the CBD and taking off the medication and going on that.
Yeah, we've had many people where they don't want to go down the medication route, so they want to try CBD first, or we've had people where they're on medication but they want to try and come off their medication. But again, we advise to speak to your doctors, because certain medications you can't just come off them, like especially antidepressants. I got a 1500 milligram full spec vape. 50ml bottle was £25 called Gizmo Vape. I'm nearly run out on the e-cig store. Don't stock it anymore. Can you help, please? We do a vape, but it's normally vapes aren't a full spectrum. We've got vapes online, but it's not a full spectrum vape. It's an isolate. But if you give me an email at Chrissy at uk-cbdoils.com, I'll send you some information over.
Is it good for things like toothache and things like that? I know.
I don't know about that. I haven't had anyone say.
See, nobody's asked you that before, have they?
No, I mean, my partner had a really bad tooth in the lockdown, and I don't think it helped with that. But he had it was his wisdom tooth. It was infected.
Right.
It's not gonna work for everything, and it's not like people expect miracles, I think, sometimes, and then they get disappointed if they're not getting results straight away. We've had people come in the shop and they buy the product, go away, use it, and come back, and it hasn't worked. But then they've stuck.
An hour later, you mean?
But then they've stuck to one dose all the way through.
Right.
I've had people ring me up and they've been using products elsewhere and they're saying it's not working. Should they change to ours? They've got product left. I always advise to carry on taking what they've got before they buy something elsewhere. But I say you need to slowly increase your dose to find out what works for you.
It's like anything, isn't it? You get medication, you get antibiotics. You don't just take it and get better the next day. Medication takes time to work, like you've just said. If you start off on it, it's going to take 3 or 4 days to get in your system. Me, it goes in straight away within about an hour or so.
Yeah, some people it could take a month or 2 before they feel the effects. Or we've had some people where they're thinking it's not really working, and they've come off. And then they stopped taking it, and after a few weeks, they're getting niggling pains that they didn't have before. So it was working, but I think some people expect it to totally take all the pain away, where some people it might do, but not all. You could have 2 people with the same condition, and basically what works for one won't work for another.
You've got people.
1 second. Discount code is BRI15. So BRI15. So
if it doesn't work, you have to come to me. The refund.
No, it should be working. Or can I write a comment or not? Someone's asking my email.
Of course you can. Yeah.
I don't know where I write it. I don't know where do you write it? I'm not sure.
I haven't got a clue.
I don't think I've got. My email's Chrissy CHRISSY at UK with a little dash CBDOils.com. But I'll come on afterwards and write it on.
The address for it to come to Borough Road, where is it?
40 Borough Road, TS1 5DW.
No, you can't do that. Can it fail a drug test? Somebody's asking.
The THC is very minute, less than 1 milligram per container. So even if you had a whole bottle, it shouldn't flag up on a blood test. we've advised when it's driving jobs, and if you're taking it, if you get a swab within so long, then you could flag a false positive.
Right.
But we haven't had that happen. But
Have
we
you ever
always
heard of that happening ever? No.
no, I
No.
haven't.
No, I
But
I know lads who on the rigs who used to take other tablets like diazepam and all other type of stuff, and they'd be taking them to get to sleep and everything. Now they take the CBD, they go on the rig, and they get tested, and it never comes back. Nothing. I know loads of lads who take it.
The only time I would be worried is if you're buying from a company that isn't fully lab tested. But the THC is within the laws, and it's very low. It shouldn't flag up on any sort of like blood test, anything like that. But if people are still nervous about taking it, you could try like a broad spectrum product. We do like a gummy with no THC in, or we do like the pure ranges. It depends on what you're using it for though. So if you're using it for pain, then full spectrum we advise for the best.
I suppose.
I didn't.
No, he won't fail the drug test. That's what she's saying. Yeah. Nobody's failed the drug test on it.
Yeah, so he works on the railways.
He wants to come off his bed. Yeah.
Yeah. When we first launched, the British Railway was advising to take CBD to some of the staff. I think were getting anxiety and stuff like that. But we have had people use it and being fine. We have a lot of people using it for like working offshore.
Yeah.
We have had like people that work in the police use it.
Hospitals, doctors will use it. Nurses use it. Yeah, you won't believe how many people use it. Yeah, go on.
We just say, like, if you're worried about your company, I would speak to them direct and say, like, I'm going to be taking this. We can even provide lab tests and stuff so they know if they are worried. But it shouldn't flag up on a drug test. I did have someone take it and they said they had home kits because they work offshore and had their own home testing kits to test, and it never flagged up. For them.
Say that you can buy a kit online. That's what a couple of my pals did on the rigs. They went online and took, like, say, instead of taking 6 drops, they took 8 or 10 or 12, and they've tested it and nothing's come back.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't do at all.
Times over the dose, what it says on the bottle, and it hasn't come back. And I know, like, quite a few people who go on the rigs. I know car mechanics who take it as well, and loads of people who take it, fitness instructors, loads of different people, nurses, doctors, and so. It's like you say, it's all legal now. It's all under the laws, and your place.
Yeah, well, at the moment they're going through the novel food licensing, so like regulating the industry even more. So there'll be a lot of like companies that won't get accepted for the licensing, but it'll be all on the government site eventually. Whichever companies get accepted, it'll be all on there.
Because I know what you're saying there, because the companies who aren't legal, if they're making it themselves in the back street alley, and put it in the back where they're making it, you don't know what's in the. They might say 1,500, could be 3,000 in it. So you're taking something that's going to be overdosing you, and then you take it and you're swabbing, and you will get done money if it comes back because it's not the proper stuff. Because you're
we get people coming in saying about Amazon, like Amazon's so cheap, much cheaper. But again, on like places like that, you're not guaranteed it's got any CBD in. Someone came in and they said, "Oh, do you do anything like this?" And they bought off Amazon. It was a little bottle, and they paid like £30 for it, and it was just hemp oil. It didn't actually have CBD in, but he didn't understand that. He just thought it was CBD. But Amazon were quite strict about selling it. Most social medias as well, you can't really promote on social medias. It's quite a hard industry to advertise. You've got to be careful with what claims you're making.
I mean, you get pop stars taking it, singers taking it before they go on singing. You get people in bands. I know a few of the lads who are guitarists who are in bands. You get police officers taking it. You get army lads taking it. You got every all spectrum all over the place as people take.
Many people.
young people taking their kids are even taking it on the so.
Yeah, we've got some use it for the children with autism, ADHD. I think the youngest child was about 3-year-old that was taking it. With good results. We've got quite a few kids using it for like anxiety. I think a lot of kids have got anxiety now since all the lockdowns as well, like away from the friends and school and the routine. I think anxiety has gone up quite a lot since the lockdowns. We've had a lot more through the door saying about suffering with anxiety and they never used to. But the stress,
The people that take their lives and everything because they're stressed to death. They're sat there and they've got no help because you can't get in the doctors now. It's so hard. So
everything in life's getting harder, isn't it? And it's stressful for everyone. And then the cost of living's going up. That's one of the reasons we were trying to reduce our pricing a bit as well. So like try and help customers out. Can you buy high THC and high CBD vape? Whatever, I will buy. Thanks in advance. We do CBD vapes, but not THC. It's 1,500 milligram vape shot we do, but it's just a booster, so it's got no flavour. That means you can just add it to your own flavours. So if you're already vaping, you can just add it to whatever you vape then. And with vaping, it's quite fast into your system. It's the fastest way to take it. It's within your system within minutes.
Right.
He's saying about witnessing people using it with tremors and stuff. Yeah, people are using it for Parkinson's. We get people using it for many things. We get people using it preventative as well. We have someone who comes regularly in the shop and he had a brain tumor 3 years ago, and he was told he would die and he had his treatments and stuff, but obviously he's been in the clear for 3 years, but he takes like his health supplements, he eats really healthy as well, as a preventative of it coming back.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? With my friend from Liverpool, his mum suffers with arthritis, terrible. And I got him some, what was your stuff? And I sent it to them for Christmas type of thing. And she's took it and she's never been better. She's walking and everything, all sorts now, just for the couple of drops a day she takes.
Yeah.
She's walking and mopping the floors and everything. He said she's doing brilliant. He said, just for a few drops of that, and it was costing her more money for the medication than it would for the oil. And the medication is not good for you because with medication, all you get on it, and I'm not telling people not to take the medication. I'm saying what you do get on, you get stuck on it, and some of the medication you can't get off it because it's like opiates.
Yeah, well, they're quite addictive, aren't they? That's the thing with them ones. We've had people coming off around 8 tramadol a day with the CBD, but again, just because that individual could have come off it, not everyone would. Some people might be able to reduce it. It just depends on the individual. Someone's asking if they've had a back surgery a few years ago. Would the CBD cream be good to rub into your back? Yeah, it would be good to rub into the areas of pain. Some people find the creams more than enough for them and that they just use the cream. But some people don't find it enough and then add it in with an oil as well. But we do offer bundles. So
I've had 2 major surgeries, 5 vertebrae in my neck, 2 titanium rods. And I used it and I got the cream and I put my neck and it worked brilliant. Emma put it on my legs when my legs were really bad. I had another surgery at the bottom of my back. Emma used to put that on my back, like a little bit of cream. And I preferred that better than the taste because I don't really like the taste of it. And it was in straight my system straight away. I could feel it, and it was like warm, the feeling. And I got a good night's sleep. Woke up, I didn't even think I'd been asleep. It was really good.
Yeah, I did a like a farmers market locally in Barwick in the summer, and one guy was waiting for knee replacements, and he used just the cream, and he was on pain relief. I think he wasn't on anything strong, but he was still on pain relief every day, and he was able to reduce that with just the cream.
I was on 8 tramadol a day, and I was on 8 paracetamol and 8 Nurofen a day, and I might take two Nurofen every now and then. I was on the morphine 5 times a day. I've gone down to once a day, just on the night now. So I've reduced nearly all of it by about 90% by taking that oil you got us and that bit of cream. And the difference is totally different because when you're on that stuff, you just cabbaged. You just don't know what day it is. So obviously the CBD, you take a bit, you relax as you fall asleep, you wake up, get out of bed, no problem.
Yeah. Someone saying thanks for the fantastic information. I'll be placing an order. If you place an order, then use BRI15 for discounts, or BRI with 15. That'll get you 15%. Yeah, you got it right.
How was that there? There's some there. That's God, that.
We offer you can ring us up as well if you want to talk to us about anything. I mean, I've even visited people's houses that can't make it to the shop, and I don't push people to buy. I just like to give advice, and if people are unsure, we always say basically go and do your research and then come back.
How would you do the research, Chrissy? Just on the internet? Would you do the research just on the internet?
Yeah, I mean, if you've got like specific conditions, there'll be forums out there where you'll be able to see what people have used CBD, if it's helped them, what sort of strength they've used. There'll be all different forums.
Is there places where you can read where the people give comments of they've took it and it tells you what?
When I find a lot of information through the internet. It was the best place to be looking. There's loads of articles, scientific ones as well, where they've done research and things on the CBD.
Yeah. Is it good for sports people using it with training and stuff?
Yeah, well, the new water soluble range, we've called it the sport range because people can use it. Like people are going to use it in like protein shakes and. It's things like that. It's not actually for just sport people, but we've called it the sport range. But it's good for training. Like it'll be good because it's an anti-inflammatory CBD, so it'll help with like inflammation and recovery. And I find it helps with my appetite. Like if I'm feeling better in myself, which the CBD helps, and it improves my appetite and things.
Yeah. So when you're training on the weights and you're aching the next day and you take it, probably takes the pain away a bit.
Yeah. Apparently it can help with hangovers as well a day after. Maybe put your water soluble CBD in your drinks on the night.
I'm all right.
I'm not a drinker, to be honest.
Yeah. So do you think it's going to get even more bigger? I think it's going to get bigger and bigger, isn't it? Because people are realizing you don't get that horrible feeling when you're
I think once it becomes more licensed and it's easier to promote it, because I think some people still think, is it legal? Is it not legal? Because it's so restricted when you come to promoting it. I think people are still like wondering. But I think it will continue to grow. As a company, we are looking into new products as well. We are going to be expanding the range into other supplements, but we can do another video on that eventually. We're looking at doing the mushroom extracts because that's really good for nerve pain and things. Because we have had a few people come in and using it for nerve, and for them the CBD wasn't quite enough, so we've been looking at alternative to try and find other ways that it could help, what could help them.
The difference between nerves and muscles, big difference. Muscles just solve. But a nerve is straight to the root to your nerve.
But I'm looking at starting like a health and wellness channel as well, so it won't be just to be pushing the CBD and what we sell. It'll be general health and well-being advice, and like diets. I've got a degree in nutrition, so helping with like diets and like going into that sort of thing as well, just for general, just free advice basically. That's what I'm looking at doing, building a community just around general health and well-being.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. I was going to say, so another good thing is when you're stiff, like I'm stiff some days and can't hardly move because my back's sore, my neck's sore. My neck's not as bad now, but when you hit the oil, it helps you. So then you can get out of bed, you can start doing a bit of exercise, you can go a little walk, you can do a bit of
Yeah,
biking.
and that also increases your endorphins by being able to go out and exercise and make.
You're going out doing a little bit of walk, you go to the shop, do a bit of shopping while you're sitting in pain. You can't be able to get up, especially this time of year, cold's freezing.
Yeah.
When you have that CBD, you get up and it makes you more mobile, so you can do a little bit of exercise. And when you do a bit of exercise, it helps your gamma, your beta, as you said, it's all them levels. So it makes your mind healthier and it makes your body healthy. You just feel a lot better well-being, like you said.
Yeah, overall, just like people think you have to use it if you've only got a condition, like something wrong with you, but even just using it for general health is good for you, but even just small doses of it, like not high. I also find sometimes when people are using it for, say, pain, over time they're able to reduce dosaging for some people, then it lasts them longer. But we also advise, like, normally start on low doses. Then once you're happy, then go for the higher strength ones because it'll last you longer, basically.
Right.
I have type 1 diabetes. It's an autoimmune disease. Would you be doing any vitamins for immune issues? We're just starting to branch out now, looking into other health supplements. So we will be looking at different things. I have had people use CBD, but I've had them use it for type 2 diabetes.
Right.
I don't think I've had anyone use it for type 1.
What does it do for people? Just so we know what it does for people with type 2 diabetes.
I think it's just generally just helping them health wise. Type 2 diabetes, a lot of the time, it's to do with weight and your diet. And they say CBD can help with. They say CBD can help with weight loss, but I do get people asking me that all the time. And if you do research, it says it can help, but I wouldn't say like it's like a slimming product. But I haven't had anyone use it for type 1 diabetes. So, but if anyone has used it, if you Google like, does CBD help with type 1 diabetes, they should come up with a lot of information with a lot of people's opinions and if they've used it for that and what their results are.
Yeah, like I said, if you use it and you have got arthritis and things, then you get more mobile, so you will lose weight because you can get up and down the stairs where you're sitting downstairs all night. Some people, like my brother, will sit on the settee and fall asleep on there because he has mental health problems. And before I'd give him, and he's up and he's out and he's walking and he's having a walk with the dog or whatever, and his mate next door and things. Or when they're just sitting about all day, you put weight on because you're not doing anything on the settee. So when you it helps the pain, so you can get up and go to the shop and have a walk out and things.
Yeah.
It stops that depression, getting out, and anxiety and a bit of fear going out the door. It helps all that, doesn't it?
Oh, we've had people who like suffer like panic attack disorders, or like that where they don't like to go out the house and stuff. We've had people using it for cancers, but again, we don't make claims. I think it helps with like the side effects of treatments, or it can help improve your mood and your appetite when it comes to having your treatments for cancers, like chemo. I had one girl buy one before for her granddad, and she said that it helped him get back out eating and in a pub after his treatments with cancer.
Yeah.
He'd lost his like appetite a lot, so it helped improve that for him.
I suppose when you take it, it makes your mood better, so you can get out because you're happier and you get up and go for it. When you're sitting about depressed,
when you're depressed and all you want to do is sit or sleep or just not do anything, with the CBD it does improve your moods because it works with your serotonin. But again, it's finding the dose for the individual. We do have people come in and like, how much will I need, and will it definitely help? Or like if someone comes in and says, I've got a bad back, will it definitely take the pain away? We always say we can't guarantee. You need to work out what works for you.
I suppose it's a bit like when you go to the dentist or you go to the doctor and he gives you antibiotics. Some people might not work with penicillin, they might need amoxicillin or things like that. Yeah,
it's just finding out what works for your body.
Yeah.
Some people like to take it as oil drops. Some people like it as capsules. I've had with the CBD with this is the isolate range, which means it's just pure CBD.
It's isolated.
It's just pure isolate CBD. It's just one cannabinoid. So
Right.
with this one, it contains the full plant, full spectrum, which
Right,
contains
all the
hundreds of cannabinoids.
Right.
This is just one cannabinoid.
Right.
CBD is good overall for everything, but with the full spectrum, it works together in your body as an entourage effect. It just all works together better, so it gives better results. But we've had some people take the isolate range for pain, but we tend to advise the full spectrum because of this CBDA, which
Right.
is noted on the bottle, and that's good for pain, that
Right.
cannabinoid.
Which is the best one for your mood? Is that the same?
Well, to be fair, with anxiety and depression and stuff, we normally tend to tell people to just start on 500 milligram, maybe 1,000 milligram. And too much CBD can trigger the anxiety.
Yeah.
So we always say to start on lower doses and slowly increasing.
Less is always best.
Yes. You seem very honest and a nice woman. Where do you buy your products from? The website's on it. I'll show you the website if you can see it.
And the website you buy them off is the government check to see the stuff in the bottle's right. Is that right?
What's that, eh?
So the website you get them off, they're checked by the government who check to see what's in the bottles, to see if it's all.
Oh, it does go through all like the border force and stuff because it comes from Poland.
Yeah.
Since Brexit, it takes a lot longer to arrive.
That's a little dig that. It's all checked out by the government, so everything what's on the label is.
Yeah. We're all like lab tested. It's lab tested in the country it comes from, and then independently lab tested here.
Yeah.
Don't think. 1 second. Someone just said, "Don't think it works for me. I used to smoke hash 2 litre bottles from 15 to 20 hours. Used to make me anxious as well." Again, CBD. It might not have worked for you, but it depends. Again, if you've found the dose that'll help you. Unfortunately, some people it could take time before they see the effects. Some people it could have results.
To get take it and get high as a kite on it, and then get cured as well. Don't they think, I get that, I'll get a buzz off of it. You don't get a buzz, do you, whatsoever off it?
No, and you don't. We get people coming in the shop expecting to get stoned, and we're like, no, you won't get stoned. They're like, oh, that's what we want. I was like, no, we wouldn't be in a shop like this selling it.
All over the place.
It can relax people, but not in the way of getting high. It can relax you like when you're ready to go to bed and things. We've got people using it for like insomnia and things like that. It was the THC that made you anxious. Yeah, a lot of people are getting mental health issues from too much THC. CBD wouldn't give that effect. It should help with like anxiety, but we have a lot of reviews on our website as well where people stating what they're using it for.
Right. Yeah, because people who smoke it, it's totally different. You forget you're getting the wrong route here. When you smoke it in there, that's 100% drug what makes you high as a kite. And when you take that, that's what gives you psychosis. That's why you're like frightened and jumping, and you get panic attacks, you get a fear, you get everything. It's the CBD, what Chrissy's on about, is totally different. What she's giving you has got only a tiny bit of THC in, which is legal. You can't get done for it. And you get testing kits, and you can test yourself. You can take whatever, you can take 2 or 3 times as much. You get a testing kit, test yourself. I know lads on the rigs who take it. None of them have ever been charged. I've known people who drive lorry drivers, I know people who drive cars who take it. But like she said, don't take it about half an hour before you go out. Take it maybe a couple of hours before you go out. Because it can be when you get tested with a little bit of paper.
Can I take you for a meal. Oh, sorry, I've got a partner.
Oh, he's a big lad and all. He's behind her and all. He's huge. He's actually an expert top boxer, cage fight and everything. Yeah, I know. So you have to get past him.
He was with me on
the dad's even worse than him.
Good to hear someone talking in normal terms. Too many companies want to hype up their products and ruin it by overselling. Like I said, when the company was first formed, it was offered to be going in all like the petrol stations and places like that. And it would have meant the company as itself would have earned a lot more money faster. But it would have basically been our products in a petrol garages or places like that with no advice. And we get people coming in where they're taking certain medications and you have to speak to your doctor before you take CBD, especially like blood pressure. So I had a guy email me and he wanted to start taking CBD and he had prostate cancer, but he was on like a load of blood pressure medication, which interferes with CBD. It goes through the same wave, the same enzymes break it down. So it means that your medication would get affected.
Yeah.
So we advised speaking to his doctors, and his doctors said that they would monitor him if he wanted to take the CBD, which was good because obviously he was going through the cancer. So he's been using it and been getting monitored. And I had a lady who had been taking our CBD for pain, and she said it was marvelous and it really helped her. And then she ended up having problems, and then she ended up having heart problems. And I said she can't take the CBD. And then she ended up coming back in the shop after a few months saying she can't handle the pain she's in, and the CBD is helping. So she spoke to her doctors and they were going to monitor her with taking the CBD. But if you're on like statins or if you're on blood pressure, and generally if you go to your doctors and you're on a medication and they tell you can't have grapefruit, then you're not meant to have CBD because it's the same medications that interact with grapefruit interact with CBD. Right. But we have people using and they leave like a 4-hour gap, but we always advise to speak to your doctors because I'm not a doctor, so I can only offer advice. But that's why we didn't want the brand everywhere because people need to know what they're selling and care about the customers.
They just sell it because they could make more money, wouldn't they? So, it's brilliant taken. They're just people could. I'm not saying they all would, but people would just make anything up just to get it off the shelf and make money.
Yeah.
When you're the truth for it, you're coming out tonight and telling the truth about it.
Yeah.
People working it. Buy it's brilliant for this. It's brilliant for that. Yeah.
I had someone recently. They come in. They'd had our product and they weren't from the town. They were from. I think it was towards Hartlepool, and then they went somewhere locally and it just didn't have the same effect. So they've travelled back through now. Everyone thinks all CBD is the same and it's not. You get your full spectrum, you get your isolate. We won't missell anything where you can get some places where it's claiming it's full spectrum, but it's not. Or especially like places like Amazon, we always say be careful with Amazon. There was a thing before where loads of tests were done on Amazon products and it was very low CBD, and I've got it on my Facebook page somewhere with all the testings where what was done. We actually had our brand copied as well in Spain a few years back. Someone like copied our branding, but it wasn't the same stuff. So they copied our brand, and then someone got in touch and was like, "We got your product from Spain, but it just seems it's like olive oil." I was like, "Our product isn't in Spain."
Yeah, but your product was really high up the charts, wasn't it, at one time?
Yeah, well, that's why people copied it, I guess, because.
That's what I'm thinking, We'll get that one. When you look at the charts, like, ooh, dried up, so I'll get that one. But you're not getting that one. You're getting olive oil. I need to make your eggs or your bacon on, but it's not no good for your knees and back. Yeah, you've got to make sure, like you say, if you go online, it's only $2.99. It's only £5. And my mum says you only get what you pay for, and yours is cheaper than anyone else's anywhere. I know that.
I think ours is like a mid-range price for the full spectrum. I have seen it a lot higher. I've seen bottles of 1,500 milligram for like up to £100 a bottle. We're quite a medium price, I would say. But with class as like a premium, it's raw, organic, it's natural, it's not refined. Like if you've got a full spectrum oil and it was like gold in colour, that's like more refined.
Right. What colour is it supposed to be roughly?
So with our full spectrum, it can vary in colour. That's why we get lab testing as well. So we've had it where it's like nearly enough black, or we've had it where it's like a dark greeny brown. It can vary in colour, but we always get it lab tested because we've had a few mention about different batches being different colours, but it's because it's natural and it's not refined. So it obviously it depends on when it's grown, like the things like that can affect it. You're 100% right about heart meds. The CBD actually targets the same pathways. Yeah, that's why if you go somewhere, like you can get CBD now from like Asda's, or you can get it from Boots, but you won't get the advice, or someone who's got a condition, then they'll go there and they won't be told, well, it could interfere with your medication. And I'd rather someone come in my shop and say, like, I've got this and this, and then I'd be like, no, you need to speak to your doctor. I wouldn't just try and get the sale because it's someone's health.
Yeah, you could danger someone's life, and if you're giving bad advice. If I train and somebody asks me a question about training, if I don't know, I'll say, I don't know, go and see a doctor. I don't mention things I don't know, so never tell someone about something you don't know, because if you to do with medication, you need to go and see your doctor.
Yeah, 100%. It's the same way we advise with your pets as well, in case on any medications and things like that. It can't. With when it comes to animals, you might see some out there where it says like, "Oh, purely for dogs" and things like that. But they're all the same. The CBD, it's with animals, it should just have no THC unless your vet says that to take a full spectrum. We advise just the isolate range. Natural remedies are better. I think a lot more people are trying to go more of a natural way now in life.
Well, people get on like certain tablets. They don't tell you they've got to take them. Gabapentin, take them. Tramadol, take them. So, but they're opiates tablets, and you take like say you take 2 for 2 weeks or something. You need to take 3, and then you need to take 4. And you need. I know some people are on 16 and a day tablets, and they've swapped from that. You see, they've come down slowly and slowly. A friend of ours from Darlington who's just come off all that stuff. He's struggling for years with the medication. It was making him ill, but he's come off it now.
Yeah. It's amazing when people come off like strong pain reliefs like that and are able to replace it with a natural product. I mean, the one guy where he come off 8 tramadol, he had a bone disease and he was on that for years. He said he'd wake up in the night and he'd be needing his tablets, and he just didn't like the feeling with the tablets and how he was feeling off them. And it took him about 2-3 weeks before the CBD started to kick in, and then he slowly was able to reduce his tramadol and eventually came off it completely. And to be honest with you, like, he was on the CBD for a good 2 years or more, and he even said he tried elsewhere, cheaper brand, and came back, and he hasn't been on CBD a while now. But I think like sometimes if your pain stops, then you can come off it. You don't have to sit and if he starts feeling his pain again, he'll go back on it. Like, we've had people with anxiety and they're saying they're feeling fantastic. Do they need to still take it? And the thing is, it's not treating your anxiety, it's not curing it. But if you feel fine in yourself, and you could come off it and then just go back on it if you start feeling the anxiety coming back, or you could just keep a low dose to try and see if it could prevent it coming back. just depends on what you want to do as an individual.
What I usually do if I'm feeling, I think it's freezing today, it's going to be bad the weather and it's raining. I know my hands are bad on my knees, so I think I'll have a couple of drops.
Yeah.
We might have a couple of drops on the night. And the other days when it's warm and things like that, I'm going out in the car and I'm all right with those. But I usually take it when I feel the pain, because I take it and within about an hour I can feel it in my system working.
Yeah.
An hour,
My partner did about 25 years boxing, and he's got really bad hands, and he's used CBD, but he's used it years before he met me. So he's used CBD Brothers, Love Hemp, Holland and Barrett's. He said CBD Brothers was a good brand. The dog, and he's obviously been on my hours for the last 2 years.
Right.
But he's tried a few different brands. He's like CBD Brothers was good, and he likes obviously likes my brand. But he's used oil drops, capsules, and for him it's the paste, which is the best for him. Which is, I haven't got one of them on me, but it's basically like a syringe, but it's like a clicker. So each click you do, you get 25 milligram. So you're just getting he's getting a nice strong dose for himself.
Right.
What's her brand called? Oh, it's UK CBD Oils. If you can see it.
Yeah, lift it up a bit. Yeah, UKB CBD Oils.
And this is the Salmon one, which is good for pets. We have actually had people using this themselves, but for myself, I wouldn't, because it's quite fishy. But again, having it with salmon oil for your pets helps the uptake of the CBD, and having it with fats. You care about your product, but you have the time to advise your customers as well. I've honestly had people ring up my shop where they've bought product elsewhere and they're not sure how to take it, and I always give advice where I can. And I always say use what you've got product-wise before you come and purchase off us. And there's no point buying more product if you've already got some.
Yeah.
But has anyone got any questions? I'm trying to have a look through the comments now. I've only seen.
Yeah, I'll let you.
Do you sell a CBD hash? Unfortunately, we don't. It's a bit of a grey area selling like the CBD hash or the CBD bud flowers. There is places selling it, but because it looks so much like the THC stuff, you're not meant to be selling it, because the police can't determine the difference unless they test it all.
I can imagine if you get pulled over in a car with it.
Exactly. It's down to your local authority. So I have seen people like selling it and they've been told to stop selling it, or it's just down to your local authority. But because especially the CBD flowers, it just looks like the same as what you smoke THC wise. It's just such a grey area.
You can't differentiate, can you, through it?
What's that?
The links in the video of the website.
I can't see.
Yeah.
What links?
No, people can,
What links?
To the website. People are asking for the website.
Oh, website address. Sorry.
It's in the links under the video.
There's the links are under the video website link.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was just saying.
Can you type it in? You know what you're doing. Yeah.
It's just uk-cbdoils.com.
Yeah.
Do you sell a cream? My background is heavy lifting. Yeah, we do CBD heat cream. 300 milligram of CBD in the club. We have had a lot of people using this, and to be honest with you, since we started offering it as a bundle with the oils, so you get a discount if you buy them both. We're getting loads more people purchasing the cream, and we're getting loads more people coming back for the cream and saying it's working really well for them. But again, everyone's different. So for some people, the cream's enough. For some people, it might not be, and the oil drops is better.
Yeah, I think you better get in both, because on the daytime you might be a bit depressed and you take the oil. On the night, if you can't sleep, you take the cream and it makes the pain go. Well, Sam knows because he's got bad anxiety in your knees. You put and it rubs it on my back on me.
I think Sam's whole body hurts really. All his years of fight, off all the years of boxing, he's had everything. He's broke everything.
Yeah, you need to get a big barrel or the bath full. Throw him in the bath in the middle of the night. Sleep then.
But he says when he wakes up on a morning, he like struggles to open his hands and things, and you can feel that more when he's not been on CBD. But again, he's used, even though he's my partner, he's used CBD years before me, and like I mentioned, he's used a few other brands, and one of them he mentions all the time is CBD Brothers, which he says is probably equivalent to like what ours is. Right. But obviously I think they're based American, I think.
Exactly, and you're just down the road, you're only local Middlesbrough, so it's a lot easier to get to.
Well, we're a small company. We're only a small, like a family run company, us.
Yeah, but you do it right, it goes right. I think you've got all you manipulate right, you look after people. You don't give bad advice. You look after people. You don't just do it for when you make obviously you make money.
I like the feeling when people are saying it's helping them. And that's what I like. It's not all about money. If it was all about money, we would have just been in like all the garages, like we could have been and stuff. Does it help with seizures? Again, we can't make claims, but we have had people use it. I had someone use it for a child, but it was like focal seizures, she said. And don't think that's like epilepsy, but it was like having like these seizures like daily, but it's like something to do with his head, and it helped with that. Or we've had animals using it for seizures, and we have had
Again, just go to the doctors and ask them, like you said.
If you're on medication, speak with your doctors to make sure. I mean, I can look into stuff like to see if it can interact. And then if it does, then we advise still to speak to your doctors, because some medications you can take it as long as it's a couple of hours in between. But with some, you've just got to be really careful. How much is in the bundle? The creams?
Just how much in the bundle? Discount goes to the apply.
How much is the bundle?
Yeah, so you've got 3 bundles that you're in like.
Yeah, but it's not on the website at the moment. So on the website, there's the bundle with the cream, but you can just put a comment saying you want heat, because at the moment it just says skin. But that's $75 for the 15% oil and the cream. So the 15% oil is $60 online. That's recently reduced down from $64, and the cream's normally on its own $25. So you bundle it together for $75. And yes, the coupon will work on the bundle.
So you have 15.
We've got the 500 milligram oil now on the website with the cream for £50. But again, with strength wise for the CBD, it all works the same. It's just higher the strength, the less you need to take. So if 500 milligram works for you, you basically just know in the future, if you go for the 1500 milligram, you need to take less dose. So like the 1500 milligram, one bottle of that is equivalent to 3 bottles of the 500 milligram. So it saves you in the long run. But we never advise going straight to the 15 if you've never used before.
Like I said, less is always best. Get a little bit less, and then you can always add to it.
Yes. Slowly increase your doses to find out what works for you. Just trying to see if there's any other questions. Yeah, we've only doing the vape boosts, which is just CBD unflavored, and that means you can just add it to your own flavors. It's just trying to find flavors that everyone likes, and we're not specialized in vapes. We're just CBD, so we just do the vape boost 1,500 milligram it is. And I think it's on offer on the website at the moment at £15. How much is that bundle? The bundle, 500 milligram with a heat cream or skin cream, £50. But if you put the Bri 15, you'd get 15% off that. Or you get the 1,500 milligram with the cream for 75, and that will get 15% off using Bri 15.
Someone's asked if they could put CBD in their coffee.
We have got a water soluble CBD. It's a £35, 500 milligram. And it dissolves fully in your coffee or your tea, and it's got no nasty flavour like a full spectrum, where some people think the full spectrum is quite harsh. Some like the taste of it, like the earthy taste, but everyone's like taste buds are different. But the water soluble, because of the new technology that's used to make that, it absorbs much faster in your body as well. But yeah, you can add that to your coffee. So rather than bringing out like a CBD coffee, things like that's better, because you can just add it to your coffee on the morning. Then later on in an evening, you could add it to your chamomile tea or something as well, ready for bed.
Are you drinking chocolate?
Yes. Do you have epilepsy customers? My neurologist said he was happy for me to try, but I wondered if any of your customers had given feedback. We have recently been having a customer use it for a dog, epileptic. We have had over the years people using it with epilepsy with good results. But again, it's finding the dose that helps you. So just start low, slowly build up.
If the dog's bigger, might have a little chihuahua, or you're a big dog like Scrappy, would it make any difference in size?
It's not about the size of the person,
The brain, is
it's your endocannabinoid system.
Right.
It doesn't go by like your size.
It really helped my dog Chrissy. I had an American bulldog who had epilepsy, and she used to get real bad head tremors, and I used to give her that, and it was amazing what it did for her.
We've had quite a few with animals.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The thing that we have a lot of people who come through the shop where we know more personally. Yeah. So we're able to get to know people that way more personally, where people buy through a website and what they're using it for. Like, we try and get people to leave reviews, but some don't like to. Some people like private life, aren't there? So, but we don't know like what some of the people are using it for that are buying it through the website. But through the shop, we have had people using it for epilepsy, sleep, pain, anxiety.
Like you said, though, if the dog's on medication, go and see the vet first. Yeah.
But we get people, if they're unsure, like they do like message me, like email me to ask if it's going to interact with the medications. But a lot of people that are buying online do a lot of their own research as well. But we always advise to do your own research before buying any products. Does it help with seizures, as my daughter has a drug-resistant epilepsy? Again, we've had people use it for that, but everyone's body is just so different. So I couldn't 100% guarantee, but it's always worth trying, and you just need to find a dose that would be suitable.
Yeah.
With anyone, it's always worth trying. But focal seizures are a type of epilepsy. Yeah, that's what that person had. I was on about earlier, focal seizures. That's what she said her son had. And it helped him. He was on 1,000 milligram oil, and she said it cut his seizures down to very, like, not very frequent. So they were happening daily, and then it went like weeks in between.
That's good, isn't it? Really good.
Yeah. That was only a kid as well. He was only, I think, about 10 or 11.
Yeah.
But I think once it's more licensed and things, and once there's more research done, they might be able to make more claims eventually. But there's still early stages in all the research with CBD.
The studies going on as well with it now, isn't there, in America and things like that. So the more they study it, the more they get into it, the more they're going to, the future's going to be probably a lot more used in it.
Yeah. Does it make you feel bad if you take too much? You can't overdose on it. We've had a few people where they said they've had an upset tummy, which could be a side effect. So if that happens, you're best off starting low dose. You don't want to start too high and cause that.
Yeah. I took about 6 drops before and I was a bit sickly.
Yeah.
And out of 3, I was okay. I just went back to 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's just too much for your body at the time. It's not often we've had people get that sort of side effect, but it can be. So
it's a bit like jelly belly, like a jelly belly, get a little bit sickly type of thing. That's all I had. But like you said, I'm not the size of me. I'm 20 odd stone, so it doesn't count how big you add it. It counts.
No.
I think when you train as well, you don't drink, you're not on medication or that. Your body's clean. I don't think you need as much of anything.
Yeah, I mean the best thing you can ever do is having a nice healthy diet.
Yeah.
But that's hard for anyone.
Yeah.
A lot of us is convenience eating, but diet is vital really for anyone, especially with illnesses. I always advise, especially when people are coming in with like cancer, I always say don't be having any processed food, just all your healthy greens and colourful foods.
Yeah.
Healthy. But I am going to start a channel trying to offer more advice on general health as well. So
we'll advertise. That'd be good. It's really having you on again. So just before we go, anything you want to say to anyone?
Just if you've got any questions, you can email me at Chrissy at uk-cbdoils.com. I'll ask my partner to put it into the comments. But if you've got any questions, then email me, or our phone number is 01642 909 766. So if you've got any questions, feel free to ring us. We're open from 10 till 5:30 Monday to Friday, and 9 till 4 on the Saturday. I can always give any advice if you need any more advice. If you're unsure which products to use. How long does it take to help with PTSD? Again, everyone is different. We've had many used for that because people using it for anxiety, panic attack, PTSD, mental health generally. You just start on a low dose and slowly increase. I can't say it's going to work in a week, 2 weeks. Everyone's body is different. Some people can get results the same day. Some people it could take a month or so. Just depends on your body. But yeah, if you've got any questions, just to get in touch.
14 Borough Road, Middlesbrough, the address.
Yeah, our address is 40 Borough Road, Middlesbrough. If you're local to us, or we're online at www.uk-cbdoils.com. But again, just if you're not local, just feel free to ring us, or we can have a video call like this, like a Zoom call. Even if you want to do it like that, you can do that with us for any advice.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chrissy, and tell your dad I was asking about him. Tell him to phone me, see if he's all right.
I will do.
We'll be seeing you soon on here.
Yeah, get Sam on soon.
Get Sam on soon.
Oh, yeah, Sam's coming on soon.
Thank you very much for being on
No
again.
problem.
Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.